All right, fellas. Uh-oh. My bad. My level's all low. See something real quick. All right, so we back in the building once again with the Week 8 wrap-up show. Man, it had a lot of strange things happen this weekend. A lot of things went totally different than what we expected or what we predicted. Not that our predictions have served us well from a fantasy standpoint this year, but it's helped some other folks out because our team haven't been doing all that great. But look, man, let's get into it. So, like I said earlier, before we hit the go live button, I wanted to start off on just a different note than what we normally would do between the game rundowns or game recaps, I should say, and kind of get into some of these, magical, mystical performances we had from some of these folks this past weekend, man. And so we're gonna call this segment "Is he for real or is he pump faking?" And we're gonna start off with the brother Mike White from the New York Jets. Man, he came in and they actually got a win over Cincinnati, who actually been looking pretty good. And he came in and threw for 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, had 2 interceptions. But right now he's sitting at number 2 in terms of quarterback performances up to this point before the Monday night game. Which I think we'll start off with you, James. Is he for real? Is he pump faking? Look, and before we say that, I want to go on record just to remind y'all. I did say that when you get a backup quarterback coming into the game and you ain't never seen him play before, it's a good chance that they go off. So now that I said that he was going to do it, I'm just saying I want to put it out there that I mentioned that.
Good chance. Mm-hmm. So you predicted this whole weekend the backup quarterback pretty much, huh?
Yep. That was a blanket statement.
Backup, man. As far as White, he the next Tom Brady. Nah, man. Like, I don't know, man. He pump faking. If no simple fact, then he play for the Jets. They don't have a lot of weapons. Once they get tape out on them, he'll come back to earth. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, and top of that, they traded for Joe Flacco too. So
right, so they didn't believe him.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say pump faking on this one. I think Cincinnati came in, they thought they had a bye week, and the Jets, just got a little hype on them, and yeah, I'm pump faking. I'm calling that one. That's a pump fake. If I'm wrong on that, then hey,
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm telling you right now, I disagree. I'm a believer. He's for real.
And the next thing coming out of his mouth is Tyler Kroll, Keelan Cole,
yep. I can call them all out. I can call them all. Ty Johnson.
See, we already know Bella.
Mims.
Look, all right. So look, standing in that same vein, if White pump faking, what about his counterpart or his backfield teammate Michael Carter? He ended up with 15 attempts, 77 yards rushing, 1 TD. He had 14 targets, 9 receptions, 95 yards receiving.
I'm a believer.
That looked like a
called it from
game
the beginning.
Right.
I called it from the beginning of the podcast. The first time I said Michael Carter was on my deep bag. Hail Mary. Yeah, I'm a believer. And what's his name? Michael White? Marcus White?
Mike White.
I don't care. White. Number 5.
He don't even get a whole mic. He just Mike right now.
I'm a believer. I'm calling it right now. Stamp.
What you think, Terrence? Michael Carter, he is he for real or is he pump faking?
Yeah, I can rock with Jose on this one. 15 attempts. Last week he got 9 targets. This week he got 14. So I don't think they're gonna get the ball. They don't look like they're gonna be getting the ball down the field. So he can just keep getting those catches. He gonna give you RB1 or high end RB2 numbers every week. So
right.
But the state of the running backs now, we saw all the running backs that just went out. So
yeah, right. Exactly.
What you think, Gene?
Gene's a believer. I'm calling for it. Gene's a believer. He's looking his stats up right now. I
had him in one league, and so I had a pleasant surprise. I haven't played him yet And I just last week I saw his stats, and I was like, oh, he may be ready for prime time. And so I put him in this week, and he paid dividends. Did anybody have him in our league? I mean, they had to, considering the
I think
the
Richard
deep of
had
our
him.
league. God damn it, Richard!
I'm
I want you to say somebody that wasn't in the top four already.
I think he did.
I'm looking at his stats, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess the piggyback off Terrence, I guess I'm going with him only, like he said, because I don't know if he'll have RB1 production, but he'll definitely have RB1 touches, you know. So, but the only problem is if the quarterback play doesn't stay like it is, then I can see him getting stacked because they don't have any weapons, so it'll be easy to defend. But I'm gonna go with that the real deal just because he's gonna get the touches.
You don't think that James and Crowder gonna keep the defenses honest and dink and dunk
Nah,
Jameson?
nah, like they gotta be yeah. Like we don't even know if the quarterback is for real. How long is Wilson out for?
2 more weeks.
Bueller.
It was two. It was 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he definitely gonna be the workhorse until then.
All right, man. Like I think we mentioned Davis Mills before, and in terms of his production, he had a nice game. We're not gonna really get into it, but we know he's capable of putting some numbers together, depending on how the game flow goes, and he's also can put you in a position where he give you 7 to 9 points. But let's talk about another person that came through this weekend and played above, outkicked his coverage. I guess is a good way of saying it. Geno Smith. He had after basically being a fantasy dud his first few weeks at the starting quarterback of Cincinnati. Finished this week right now. He's at number 8. He had 195 yards passing, right, which isn't a lot. But he had 2 touchdowns and had 8 yards rushing and scored a TD via the ground. Now the first thing I'm gonna say is before we can get into whether he for real or whether he pump faking, is that I had Tyler Lockett on my bench, and so I missed all those points, and so I'm not happy at all.
I was the same thing. I had him on the bench.
Oh man, this will be the one week that I don't play him. He go off. But what you think, Gene? We go back around the other way with Geno Smith. You buying? He for real or he pump faking?
I'm selling that all day. He had like 10 years to prove something to me. Like I'm selling Geno all day. Plus, like you said, 195. What do you have? Two touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah,
He had a rushing touchdown too, I think.
Yeah. He had 2 passing and 1 rushing.
Yeah, but he not getting that every game. That rushing touchdown. I'm selling.
What about you, Terrence? Oh look, all right, maybe look.
Yeah.
So I think most of us will sell Geno Smith. I guess a better way to put it is Tyler Lockett and the receivers back in play again. Are they to be trusted?
Yeah, they back in play. I mean, honestly, they just need to get him the ball. They got Metcalf and Lockett. They just give them the ball and let them work. I mean, they're the talent. He the backup singers. You just need to give it to them.
What do you think, Terrence? You think they safe plays now going forward? At least they got enough.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, I think we also got to look at this. Russ supposed to come back week 10, and they on the bye week for week 9. So
okay.
So hopefully you don't have to play. So I mean, so yeah, I think, but if Russ end up being out longer, I'm still going pump faking.
So what you're saying is I missed my chance to pick up Geno Smith then. Pretty much.
If you're not in the quarterback league, then you ain't even thinking about Geno Smith. So
all right. So look, we throw Gene one for the QBs. Cooper Rush. Is he a stash in case Dak go down? Is he worth the stash? Not whether or not he'll keep performing this way, but is he worth the stash? Considering he got nothing but weapons surrounding him.
I don't know, man. Like I used to like him when he first got into the league, and then like maybe the last year or two, I watched him in preseason, thought he was terrible, man. So I'm going with Like I wouldn't do nothing with him. Like you gotta be in a 2016 league for me to pick up Cooper Rush. Like I'm not
26 though.
Yeah.
What about you, Jose? Is he even worth stashing? Because look, now Dak,
Nah,
he
he's straight.
ain't played the full season in a minute. So
Listen, I went
Whoa.
ask Gene what happened. I didn't even put it. Look, I had Dak. He went out, and I didn't replace him at all.
he took that L. I saw.
Yeah, but the Dak not playing the full season. That was just 1 year he was hurt. Last game he could have played if they was needed.
They did say he looked good.
Listen, I would pick up Mike. I would pick up Mike White before I pick up Cooper Rush.
That makes sense.
Nah, only because of the weapons. Only because of the weapons, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? The Jets still the Jets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Bengals.
Hey, don't sleep on the Jets, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm on the Jets bandwagon.
The one game.
Right.
That's how you feel.
All right, so let me change up a bit. So we were talking about guys having kind of playing above their Madden rankings.
Hey, look, hold up. The Jets is like Walmart. You can get some good prices for it.
Always find a good deal.
Jose is captain troll tonight, yo. Jeez.
So look, so let me ask you this. I got one in another league. Justin Herbert. Man, he basically got two games. It wasn't as bad as the previous game, but this week he had another clunker for the most part for where where he was drafted and what you expect from him week in and week out. He's supposed to be matchup proof. He had 223 yards on 18 for 35, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions, and only 9 yards rushing.
Yeah.
You think is he in danger of not being, I would say, top 10 going forward? What do you think, Terrence? Top 10 QB going forward?
Nah, I mean, you got Justin Herbert. I mean, you got to play him. I mean, he was going against Belichick. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm looking at his last couple games. Baltimore, New England. Nah, Justin Herbert, you still playing Justin Herbert. Too many weapons. Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, the tight end. You gotta play Justin Herbert. Shoot.
What do you think, Gene?
Yeah, I
rocking with him.
Yeah, I didn't think that he was capable of having a game like he had last week, especially and then having back to back.
I definitely didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Justin Herbert, but you know what though? It's one thing when everything's going smooth for your whole career. Like when you hit some adversity and your confidence gets shaken, you can see if you bounce back from it. But we'll know the third game. We'll know something. If you have 3 straight bad ones, then you might need to get worried. But right now, man, I'm definitely rocking with Justin Herbert all day.
All right, man. So let's change positions and go with some of these magnificent performances from the running back side and Philly's backfield, where we thought Philly didn't have running backs. At least that's what I thought. They would. At least not to where they were going to give them the ball at any point in time. Now they got two running backs that finished in the top 20 this week.
What, in yards, points, or touchdowns?
Points. Boston Scott right now had PPR got 18.3, and Jordan Howard right behind him at 17.7. So Boston Scott had 63 yards, 2 TDs on 13 carries. Jordan Howard had 12 attempts, 57 yards, and 2 TDs. So we went from an offense that wouldn't get it running backs, wouldn't let them sniff a carry, and then they both have combined for over 100 yards and 4 TDs.
Yeah, the problem is they ain't got the Lions on the schedule anymore this year though. Like that's
a get right game.
Yeah, that's a stat game, yo. Like the Lions has turned into a stat game. So
Nah, I think that they definitely like what window dressing or something. I don't trust any backfield from Philly.
Yeah, no, I'm with Jose on that. I'm not trusting them. I'm surprised that what's the quarterback didn't take one of those.
That was interesting that he didn't have a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
he probably hurt from all those hits.
Right. Yeah, and then you got Gainwell still out there. I'm surprised he didn't get more touches.
Listen, the thing is, like this is the issue I had is that Scott had 13, Howard had 12, Gainwell had 13. It just so happened the first two ended up with 2 touchdowns, and they
They
both
got the
50
goal
yards.
line. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's crowded right there. Interesting enough,
Yeah.
again, it was a stinker from Detroit side. At least Hawkinson had a decent game. He was due, long overdue, and also Dallas Goedert had a decent game. Had six receptions, 72 yards.
Man, Detroit is one of those teams where I just get mad at the product. I'm just like, how do y'all continually do this every year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you be looking at the fans, they be
I mean,
looking real.
you need a team like that, man, so that you can boost your stats up, try to catch up on fantasy league.
Man, I'm telling you.
And the NFL, it's like based off balance. The whole structure is based off of like
it's supposed to be a socialist system where everybody at least have an opportunity to be competitive.
like everybody, like you can get lucky, right? Like just 1 year out of 30, like you should get lucky 1 year and everything go right.
Yeah,
Like, it says a lot.
exactly. Yeah, and Jared Goff is just terrible. He's terrible. Can't believe I had him on my fantasy team, man.
I still got him on one up. It's a salary cap league. He's the cheapest. He's one of the cheapest ones I can get.
Yo, Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl though.
Yeah, with a super team.
What happened?
He had a super team and a coach.
Yeah, look, he had a super defense, super offense. He couldn't go wrong. That was, all right. So who else had an interesting performance this weekend at the running back spot? We talked about Philly's
Adrian Peterson.
situation.
My bad.
No, but all right. Look, let me see this. A guy who we thought when his name was first mentioned that he would when he came in was supposed to do work. Elijah Mitchell for San Fran. We're gonna start with the resident San Fran Homer.
Yes,
Jose.
Yes, 275.
Is that because you need him to do work?
No, I just know. I mean, I know he has the speed. He honestly he's the perfect fit for the 49ers playbook. He has the same speed as Mostert, and only thing is he doesn't have the vision as Mostert. They realized they can run to the left side of Trent Williams' side, and that's where he got most of his yards. And they be doing more. They figured out how to do the sweeps with him now. So his speed is what's going to get him there. He's the one that moves the ball, moves the offense.
Do you trust Shanahan to keep him in that position?
Yeah,
if you most of the carries.
Yeah, if you look for the last since he's been starting, he's taking the whole majority of the snaps. You got Hasty comes in for the third down, but
right, he only had 3 attempts, so
yeah, it's mostly Mitchell. He's the bell cow.
18 attempts, yeah.
And almost averaged like 9 yards.
Yeah, he had 18 for 137, 1 TD. All right, so this look is Chicago along the same lines as Detroit right now in terms of a get right game because in that Garoppolo got off as well for 322 yards and had 2 rushing touchdowns.
James.
What you think on Garoppolo? Did you pick him up? Oh no, you picked up what's the name? His backup, right?
He picked up both.
Oh right.
Oh, you got both, Jim? Garoppolo and
Yeah, one I'm about to go. I just got to figure out which one. I'm getting one more week.
You gonna play Garoppolo next week or this coming week?
I don't know. I got to look at the matchups, man.
They're playing Arizona.
I can't like show my hand so early, yo. We ain't done with this week yet. We got this money.
Look, that's all right. Only person got any waiver money right now in his turns. Me. So they like we can go in there and buy them up from you.
Listen, I'm doing
some toss up, yo. Huh?
Right. All right. So look, keep it staying in that same game. Justin Fields. Now he been looking like he a Vietnam with a BB gun. His first few weeks as a starting quarterback. What's the chances that this is a turnaround game for him and he actually consistently can put up? Right now he is at what is he ranked at right now? He's number 5 on the week and fantasy points at quarterback. What's the chances that he can keep this pace up or keep this performance up? Not number 5, but at least get into I'll say top 16 QBs week in and week out because he wasn't even close.
Nah.
What you think, Terrence?
Yeah, I'm giving them top 16, man. I mean,
What?
like top 16. I mean, we
Break
talking
that down
about
for me,
16 is like Ben Roethlisberger,
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, you 100 rushing yards.
Listen, that's
I
smoke
mean,
right there.
I ain't
That's
trying to,
smoke and
I
a
ain't
loser.
trying to throw him out there, but he looked like Lamar in that backfield. That running did where he got the touchdown. That looked like a Lamar
I was
run right
watching
there.
that live.
Listen,
You know,
Yeah.
so and this is what everybody expected from him. So yeah, I got him in top 12 for the rest of the year going out.
how you go from top 16 to top 12 now? You just jumped him up.
He said 16. I put
Oh.
him in 12.
I
I'm
got
saying
him
top
at.
All right,
12.
so-
I got him underneath 12. I mean 16.
All right. So look, we'll play this game real quick. Where if you had to start, bench, or cut one of these three, who would you start? Who would you bench? And who would you cut between Justin Fields? Right now they got the rest of the season rankings. They got him at 22, right? But they say you're on the upswing. But if you had to pick between Justin Fields, right, Matt Ryan, or Trevor Lawrence, who would you start?
Fields.
Who would you
Matt
cut?
Ryan.
And who would you
Easy.
bench?
Who going first?
I'm going with Matt
We'll
Ryan.
we'll go with you, Jose. Who?
Go ahead.
I'll start with Matt Ryan, benching Trevor Lawrence, and cutting Justin Fields.
What about you,
I'm
sir?
cutting Matt Ryan. He ain't got no wide receivers.
Cordell Patterson,
Yeah, he got Cordell.
Kyle
Patterson.
Pitts.
Look, Cordell Patterson will get shut down. Okay, I'm getting tired of this Bama getting these 2 touchdowns every week.
I need every touchdown he get. He the only consistent producer I got right now.
I'm going Justin Fields in that one. Though. I think just because of the rushing yards, like if he can get 10 rushes.
Nah, when what's his name come back, he's gonna take those rushes away from him.
Nah,
So-
it's Justin Fields' team now.
No, it's not.
Montgomery coming back.
Montgomery is
I
it
mean,
Montgomery?
yeah,
It's Montgomery's
Montgomery,
team. Trust me on that. It's Montgomery's team. Everything revolves on the running game.
Yeah.
So you said you cut Matt Ryan and who? I mean you benching. You said you cut Matt Ryan. You starting Fields and you benching Lawrence.
Yeah.
Who you got, Gene? What's your?
I'm starting Matt Ryan. I'm benching Fields and I'm cutting Lawrence.
You had Lawrence, right?
That's personal. He's taking it personal.
Right.
He drafted him.
Right.
I like Lawrence.
I cut it for real.
Right.
Matt Ryan on the downswing. I don't know.
All right,
Look at his stats.
Where they ranked that right now? All of them outside the top 16. But the way it go from 16 to 22 is where 22 is where they got Fields. The consensus ranking right now is Winston 16, Lawrence 17, Daniel Jones 18. Now I got Daniel Jones starting. He 18. Let me get him out of there. Daniel Jones 18, Matt Ryan 19, Tua is 20, Mac Jones 21, and Justin Fields 22.
Yeah.
Where's Matt Ryan at?
Matt Ryan is 19.
All right,
Matt
well,
Ryan
I'm
is
glad
19.
I'm out on the limb on this one. Justin Fields gonna win somebody a fantasy league.
Oh, he's not.
Yo.
Look, Justin Fields right above Trey Lance, just to give you an idea.
I mean,
That's off of this one game. Just off of this one game.
I think
Yo,
that,
he don't-
I
that
think he gonna
run-
get better too, but he don't have no line though. That's the problem.
That's another thing I'm worried about is the line and the line. I'm worried about the line and I'm worried about when Montgomery comes back. But if he realizes his lines stink like they really do, and he realizes, look, I'm gonna have to play, save myself and run, and like Turner said, he could be a league winner. If he get in his head that, look, the only way we're gonna win a game is be competitive and I don't get killed is to put my legs to work. He must run
To me, he get one good hit. He look like he gonna stop running.
He could be a RG3. Yeah, I don't know how big is he. You know what I mean? Because see, that was the RG3 problem.
He's like
wasn't
6'4", I
big.
think.
he wasn't RG3 problem with that. Not only was he not big, but he didn't know how to
this
slide.
man- he's
Protect
6'3",
himself.
230.
Who you talking about? Fields?
Fields.
Justin
Yeah.
Fields.
Yeah, Fields. He was like 6'2", 6'3", like
Yeah, 6'3",
Yeah, but
230 pounds.
he ain't really get a good hit. Let him get a good hit. He ain't running no more.
You gotta have that side. You gotta have that Cam Newton weight on you to last them joints. That was RG3 problem.
Yeah, he also didn't know how to slide either.
Yeah, he had legs like baseball bats though, yo. RG3 was
he definitely was a hurler. That was strictly hurler body right there.
Right.
Cornball.
Yeah. Oh man, this dude. Y'all watch him commentate the college games?
Nah.
He does Baylor games.
Brother.
I don't waste my time.
The corn brother.
Yo,
oh man,
early. Who was on it early, yo? It was a cornball that called him a cornball early.
Yeah, it was a cornball that called him.
Yeah, it was like,
but he called it right. He called it before we knew he was a cornball. Though.
Yeah, he did, yo. But the fact that he said it, we ain't really giving no credit, yo, because the dude that said it. It's like he's the definition of a cornball, yo.
Right, that's it. He was like, take one to know one. He was like, I'm telling you.
You gotta take one to know one.
And the fact that we don't even use the word cornball, yo.
I know. Oh man. Hey, look, that did come out of left field, right?
That was a cornball term to use, yo.
Right. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like maybe he's thinking that he could say on TV, and that's the only thing that came to mind. But I was like, yeah, no, we don't even use that.
Like the cornball. And the first thing I thought was joking. Use a cornball. So many levels to that whole thing. Like he turned like out to be right and everything. It's just so many levels to that.
He turned out to be right.
Oh man. So I can't think his name. He got a show out. He got a podcast out with the dude from the NBA, they got the red hair. I can't think his name. Black dude.
Broussard.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, him and Broussard. Yeah, I can't think
his name for nothing.
Hold on, I'm about to find out now.
All right, all right, man. We'll do a couple more of whether or not he for real or if he pump faking.
Rob Parker. My bad.
Rob Parker, that's his name. Yeah, inside the Parker. That's his name.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Like he definitely went to private school. My bad. For everybody went to private school.
I went to private school. Nah. It wasn't even just private school. It was because the kids at National Christian Academy go to private school and they just as hood. That's
what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying people that go to private school are all like him. I'm saying people that's all like him with the private school. So yeah.
You can say you just saying you couldn't find him. You just said he couldn't find him walking the halls in PG.
Nah, he go to Crossley. You ain't see him. You ain't see him in Southern PG County or something.
Oh man. Nah. All right, so look, I got more for you, Gene. Amari Cooper can we expect this more consistently, or is this a one-off based on Dak being up? Or this is one blow-up game?
He's every other game Coop. At the end of the year, he's gonna have crazy stats. He's gonna have like 95 touchdowns.
He's gonna be a top 10 receiver.
1,200 yards and 95 catches, 1,200 yards, like 9 touchdowns. Because he's gonna give you 2 catches, 30 yards, and then next game he give you 9 catches, 121 and 1 touchdown. Like that's what he do, yo. So yeah, Cooper, you pay him every other game, yo.
So basically, he for real. He just gonna do him.
Yeah,
right. 100 million.
Yeah, but he worked it though. Like if you look at his totals over the last 3 years, he's probably a top 5 wide receiver.
I think he finished top 5 at least.
That's because what you said is like 10 games. He only do 10 games, and then he shuts down the rest of the games. 6. I mean,
right.
He only shows up. He only shows up on like NFC East, and then he don't do nothing on regular season.
Do y'all remember how bad Dak and the offense was before they made that trade? Think about it like that.
No, I do remember.
That was epically bad. Yo, they had who was the little dude from West Virginia? Yo, was number 1 wide receiver. Yo,
Tavon Austin.
Tavon Austin. Yo, they were so bad. Yo, they haven't looked back.
He definitely added some legitimacy to that pass game. Like when he came in, they had a legit threat.
We was talking about replacing Dak. You know what I mean? Dak looked terrible, but since he came in, so just then he's earned his money. He kept him Like right, he added some legitimacy to it. So yeah, you definitely roll with Coop.
All right.
Cool.
So
Matter of fact, you roll with him for the simple fact that no matter who stadium he in, all you hear is cool.
Rush.
look,
Cooper
so
Rush.
check this out. This is why I couldn't get past, right, when I was doing the rest of the season rankings for quarterbacks, right, and I was running down like who was who could crack the top 16. And as I was going down, and I got further and further down, I seen Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Donald, Roethlisberger at 26, and then Taylor Heineke at 27. Man, that's he next to a dude that wasn't even playing, and that's Taysom Hill is right behind Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, but in yardage though, he's like what,
the dude
top
we supposed
10?
supposed to carry the Redskins this year, huh? After Fitzpatrick, this is the backup we had.
Yeah, but in yardage, he's ranked up there in yardage.
Yeah.
Man,
Yo, my question on Taysom Hill is this gotta be the all-time record for a backup quarterback to be surpassed playing. Like at least 5 people done surpassed him since he's been the backup, yo. I've never seen a backup quarterback not play. I think he was hurt this week. But
he's still in concussion protocol.
Yeah, but even when he come back, they talking about Trevor Siemian might be the star. Like I've never seen the backup quarterback
take a back seat every time his number calls.
Yeah, never be the backup, yo. And then they like pay him, and he still don't be the backup. It's so weird.
Remember, it was talks coming into the season that he was supposed to he might unseat Jameis as the new starter. Mm-hmm. And that didn't happen.
That's just a fullback.
Yeah, pretty much.
Old as a quarterback, like Mike Allstott out there, John.
All right, man. So let's get into some of the games, man. Some of the this week's schedule. Speaking of, so we kind of touched on Carolina for the most part in Atlanta. We know Atlanta has basically no weapons. Oh, I should have asked about Mike Davis, but he really didn't break the top 20 at all. But he had a decent game this week.
One thing, Ronnie. I was looking at the stats. I don't know what I was looking at, but I was looking at the stats, right? I see Mark Ingram like what, 4th in rushing?
Mark Ingram?
Yeah.
Nah, is that true? Right. Nah, that can't be right.
What you mean for the nah?
He know where to be found in the leadership.
You mean for the week?
No,
no.
He's ranked. He's ranked in the NFL top 4 or top 3 in rushing yards.
It must be a different stat.
Yeah, it gotta be.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me see here.
Gotta be something different. It may be average in the red zone or something like some off-brand stat. The statistician's been looking up. But so Carolina beat Atlanta 19-13, right? And we realized Sam Donald stinks. Matt Ryan don't have any weapons, and he's not that great. Cordell Patterson, he's still getting the bulk of the production from a running and catching standpoint. Where he had a TD receiving and had 37 yards receiving, 35 yards rushing. Kyle Pitts was a disappointment, and most folks would have thought that with Ridley out, Kyle Pitts and Gage numbers would have picked up, but it didn't go that way at all, which was strange. Man, the worst news of the week. Oh, I guess it would be the worst news of the week is that they talking about Derrick Henry in the Tennessee-Indianapolis game. Tennessee won 34-31. Had a pretty good production fantasy-wise from both sides between the number one receivers, Michael Pittman Jr. ended up with 10 receptions, 86 yards, 2 TDs. And A.J. Brown had 10 receptions, 155 yards, and 1 TD. And Derrick Henry, he went out. He had 28 attempts, 68 yards rushing. But it looks like he tore his ACL, and it looked like he had MCL damage. So I'm sorry, not ACL, MCL. He had the foot injury. Liz Frank. So he has to have surgery, which is going to put him out for the year, which is unfortunate. And so Tannehill had 3 touchdowns passes, and same with Carson Wentz. So the all the number ones pretty much showed up except Derrick Henry going out early, kind of cut his production short. But Jonathan Taylor, he had 70 yards rushing, 1 TD with 52 yards and receiving on 3 catches. So everybody kind of did what we expected to do to have a pretty decent day. Anybody have who has Jonathan Taylor in our league?
I think Zeke.
Damn it, man. We gotta get some of these Bama's that's in the top 5. We need some more injury. Well, who has Derrick Henry?
I think AJ.
AJ got Derrick Henry?
Nah, I don't think so. Because they got Zeke with their first pick. So
okay.
So you couldn't have both unless
somebody did something super stupid.
Right.
Let me see who got him.
Nah, but back to Ingram is number 26 in yards.
In rushing yards?
Yeah, rushing
yards. He got it. Yeah, but
what do you have?
It's just like 300 something yards.
Okay.
Oh man, Gene Nat got him.
Oh really? Dang. Yeah, he hurt.
Yeah, no, he hurt because he was I think number 4, number 5 right now.
Anybody did? Hey, real quick. Hey, Terrence, you'll be proud of me, young. I went on Glass Man on a group text today, man. Hey, Rodney.
Oh, they got real uppity on you, didn't they?
Yeah. Everybody got quiet.
They got real uppity on you.
What you say?
Hey, Glass Man, the most insult thing that you could tell a Glass Man dude is that, they from DC, even though they right across the street, they be like,
oh yeah.
Somehow they think the rats just didn't cross Southern Avenue, like they talking about they don't eat at Southeast Popeyes because of the rats, and I was like, there's a Popeyes right at Easto and Oxon Hill, but it ain't Southeast. I'm like, homie, you think the rats just stopped at Southern Avenue? Like they was just like, we're not gonna cross over the street, yeah.
Did y'all see that video with the rats?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. That's my man said over. He's like, nah, that's DC, that's Southeast. That ain't Glass Man, that ain't Eastover. Like, Slim, that's the same thing.
Then me being me, I went all the way in on Glass Man and told her, I was like, yo, it's probably like 6, 7 Glass Man dudes on the text. I'm like, yo, only a Glass Man dude feel like they not from. Look, shout out podcast world. I don't want nobody. I don't want to be getting a hit on me. All the Glass Man jokes. I be like,
going there all Chris little homies been there giving you a shout out.
Right. I be like, yo, it's literally, look, real quick, yo, since this is the DB podcast, yo, I feel like, what I'm saying, we ain't really podcasting enough, yo. We've been kind of buttoned up on the straight and narrow with
right. We do need some local flavor into the discussion.
Look, shout out to all the DC. Look, yo, all my DMV brothers and sisters, yo, we are too divided, yo. And the reason why we so much divided than everybody else is because we are unique in how we're separated by 3 lines: Maryland, DC, and Virginia, yo. Yo, when you live in Glass Manor and you hate to say you from the Washington, DC, because it's just like some type of stink on it, it's like conditioning to the highest level, yo. Like, I don't even understand it. Like, if you from New York and you from Brooklyn or Queens, you all just from New York. You're from the metropolitan area that you live in, yo. It's nothing wrong with being like, I'm from DC if I'm from out of town. You can literally do a cop wheel from Glass Manor and be in Southeast. Literally. Like, not even exaggeration. You can cross Southern Avenue, yo.
It don't matter. It depends on where you at. You know what I mean? So I learned it. So if I'm in the area, if I'm in the DMV, I gotta say where I'm from down to like the street. You know what I mean? Like, but if I'm somewhere else, when I was living in California, I'll be like, I'll just say DC.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to say Maryland because they be like Baltimore. And I'll be like, nah. So I'll say DC. Every once in a while, I'll meet somebody from who, we all be in a group. And it'd be somebody who from DC and then somebody from LA. They'd be like, oh yeah, y'all should know each other. He's from DC too. They'd be like, oh, where you from? And I'd be like, oh, Capitol Heights. He ain't from DC. He ain't DC.
Let me tell you, that's the grown-up thing to do, yo. Like, I'm telling you, that's the division of people who don't travel. Like, we the only area that does that, right? Like, I'm gonna take. So I know we got a short on time, but 2 real quick things. I'm gonna be real quick. my brother and them, right? Because me, like I put in the text, like Rodney, I'm from both. My mother lives in Northeast, my father lives in Oxford Hill. I grew up in both, so I was born in the city for most of my childhood. So I take that stuff personal. So my brother, who's my father's child, he's only in PG. So he'd be like PG, PG, PG. But the joke lives, he's from Oxford Hill. It's the weirdest shit ever, right? So we go out of town. We go to Vegas for his 21st birthday years ago. They like at the hotel, like, where y'all from? He like, I'm from Maryland. They say, oh, like the Wire, like Baltimore. They all get offended. Nah. We from DC. We from DC. And to take a quote from that same trip in Vegas from the comedian, George Wallace. He asked a lady in the audience. She said, where you from? He named some town. He said, what airport did you fly out of? She said O'Hare. He's like, then you from Chicago, mother, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yo, whatever airport you flew out of, that's where you're from when you're out of town. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I time you trying to figure out where Oxon Hill at. You go to the same.
You know what? You know what? You just brought up
the same curry out. You go to the same club, mess with the same girls, eat out the same curry out, go to the same Six Flags, and cheer for the same sports teams. But you press to be like, I'm from Mitchellville. It's the weirdest shit ever to me. We're the only area that does that, yo.
Yeah, you're right about that.
School system, man. It's which school system you from.
Look, so I got 3. Go ahead, Jose. And I got 3 points, and we'll move on.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it, but when you were saying that, I just remember this one time I was in Dominican Republic, right? My first time there, right? And the guy asked me, he said, where you from? So I instantly said, I'm from PG. PG, right?
That's such a small way of thinking.
I said, I'm from PG, Maryland, right? He said, oh, Baltimore. I said, no, PG. Well, and then my wife was got on me. She's like, no, you're from Maryland. I'm like, it never even dawned on me until you just said something. I'm like, hold on, I know I said that before. Like, it just instantly come out, I'm from PG.
You get the Washington Post. The Washington Post when we came to your house on your front step, yo. You didn't get the Baltimore Sun.
Nope.
You didn't get any
somebody
of that.
from like Laurel or somebody like that. You like, you ain't really PG, man.
Listen, 10 minutes away, I go to
You like one step from Howard County, yo.
Right. It's like, you one of the Mo County mammals.
Nah, so
yeah.
So a couple points of that, Gene, is first of all, Nat still tried to stun her. He's like, "Nah, I go to Waldorf to get my Popeyes." So even though he's glass man, he don't eat over there.
Hey, look, that's what you heard y'all for you. Because he said Waldorf like it was Beverly Hills or something, yo. Like he's like,
man.
Once again, small thinking.
You were right. I used to be like, man, I'm gonna go to Popeyes in Laurel because it's better.
Right.
It's better.
And then so the other point is old school DC dudes, and Gene, you know this from being like me, having your pops on one side, your mom still in the city, right? Mm-hmm. So we live in Skyline, grew up, grandmother, we grew up off Moore's Road. My father moved out to Maryland. My cousin Slim, we moved across the line, basically across the street. Man, he moved in, and I guess it's because this is before the metro went past Anacostia, right? He's like, man, you moved way out Maryland. I'm like, way out Maryland. It took literally 5 minutes to go to Alabama Avenue to get over to Temple Hills. Yeah, he's like, man, he moved way out Maryland, Joe.
Yo,
literally, look, mind you, we used to be able to walk the Avenue Mall from Southeast or whatever, but as soon as you cross that line, that nigga way out Maryland, Joe.
You're a Maryland bomber, yo. Yeah. Like that's what they call this, yo. When you move, move.
And they told look, instantly my cousin like, you even sound white. I'm like, how you gonna put that on a fourth grader?
Yo, the ignorance in the 80s was on the hook.
Yeah, ignorant, Joe.
Name is Rondo.
Now, I went to school. I went to my first day at a Maryland school thinking I was going to be at Ferris Bueller or the Breakfast Club somewhere. Yo, I walked in that joint with my backpack on. I was like, yeah, this is going to be one of them like Ferris Bueller schools. I was like, oh, this joint just like this joint just like my city school. Yo, it was just the level. And then I realized everybody was just like me and Rodney. Everybody's parents just made an extra $10.
Came up.
You know what I'm saying?
Came up
6 miles.
Yep. And got some grass.
Man, I
so,
swear, Siouxland, we had DC people not because I know my bus used to go down Homer Avenue. We used to be dropping people off in Southeast.
Siouxland
So
is
that's-
Southeast. That's my point, y'all. Like that's
Yeah,
my
right down the
point,
street.
yo. The
Right.
only difference between Siouxland and Southeast is one generation just got a money a little earlier than the other one, yo. Like that's it. Like everybody from
right.
Siouxland, it's crazy.
So look. So my last point, and I could definitely tell if you older than 35, I could tell if you grew up in the city or not by how you say my name. Everybody in the city is Ratney. It's not right. It's Ratney.
Right.
I'm like Slim. Everybody pronounce my name the same way. But all right, man. Look back to the fantasy joint. That was a nice little sidebar. So man, we got Derrick Henry went down for Tennessee. Another game, which we saw another season-ending injury, was New Orleans, Tampa Bay. New Orleans actually won the game, 36-27, and had a pretty good fantasy day from Tom Brady. He ended up with 4 TDs, doing what he do with 375. Giovanni Bernard was actually leading the backfield though. Ended up with 30 yards. We had that one touchdown catch. Chris Godwin and with the absence of Brown, he was the beneficiary with 140 yards, 1 TD on 8 catches. We did mention Mike Evans, right? We talked about the matchup he had. He was held to 2 catches, but one of them ended up being a touchdown.
Get a couple catches, but he gonna get you a touchdown, yo, in the red zone. Okay.
And so that came true.
Okay. You're welcome, Jose.
Look,
I did say Godwin would take all the targets.
That's true. Everybody.
So everybody was right.
But Godwin had most of the points.
Did anybody say Gronk was gonna have a decent game because he had 1 target? That was it.
Gronk didn't play. Did he play?
He had a target.
He wasn't supposed to play. He got hurt. He played anyway. Got hurt.
When I saw him, when I looked on the screen, he had his shirt off, sitting down on Tom Brady's. I thought he never played.
Yeah, he had back bad.
Man, Jameis Winston went out. At that point in time, he was 6 for 10, 1 TD. He had 40 yards on 4 carries, right? And Trevor Siemian came in, ended up with 159, 1 TD on 16 for 29, which isn't that great. However, I'm just looking at where all the production came from for New Orleans
defense.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Because Traquan Smith he had 1 TD on 33 yards. Alex Armour Jr. had 1 catch with a TD. Kamara had 61 yards and one touchdown run. Jameson had 1, and Trevor Siemian had 1. So everybody, it was kind of spread out between who scored. My question for you guys is, from New Orleans standpoint, do you think Kamara is hurt or helped, or do you think he's hurt by Jameis not being out for the rest of the season, or do you think he continues to be a workhorse? And also the fact that they got Ingram that's supposedly coming in to help spare him a bit, so he's not too banged up.
I think it hurts him because James got that deep ball. You got to be cautious about that deep ball.
I was just surprised he wasn't getting the targets in the backfield with James was there. What you think, Turn?
Yeah, I mean, I missed the question, man.
I knew it.
We'll talk about Capitol Heights.
Oh man! I feel like the teacher that called on the dude that she knew wasn't paying attention.
You know, because I was sure that was about to be flaky.
He was doing good for
and Jose laughed. I'm like, I can't even fake. Jose don't out at me.
I couldn't hold it.
Did you see? Look on his face.
He was like, he just his headphones.
I ain't gonna lie.
I was just gonna say, I agree with Jose on this
Colt
one.
with his hand in the cookie jar. He was like, you know what? Before he about to start the line, and you was like,
hey, look.
Joke time. I'm serious, man.
Hey, look, when you be in the back of class, we're cutting up, and the teacher calling on you, like she knew I wasn't paying attention. She called me anyway. Did it on purpose.
Right, called him on purpose.
Oh man,
trying to make me look stupid.
And when I want to answer, you don't never call them.
With that joke. And look, yo, no accountability, yo.
None at all. Hey, I know this dude's gonna come back and bring a level of sanity to the
He looked up like
to the team.
You got a lot to work out in therapy terms, yo.
Right.
Oh man.
he gave you that lift the eye like this. And he want to fix his...
Oh
What
man.
did I say? Profound.
Y'all dudes on joke time tonight, man. Y'all not serious. Y'all not serious at all, man.
I got my stats.
Nah, man. AJ,
So
what you think,
I
man?
believe
Kamar?
he is the right
Look.
person for the.
Hey, look, the question was, so Winston out. They just brought in Ingram, who was supposed to spare Kamara some of the carries that he was getting because he was getting more of a load than he's normally in terms of rushing carries than what he was used to.
Man,
Winston being out, Ingram being in now, right? He know the offense, so it's not like he got to wait his time to figure things out. Do you think Kamara gets an uptick or stays the same, or you think he takes a hit?
He stayed the same. Like that's just for insurance. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I would be a little bit afraid about the goal line touches. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think it's the same. I think it doesn't. I think his workload doesn't change.
That's what I was gonna say.
There you go.
Oh man, this dude.
Hey,
So-
real quick, did we mention that with the Derrick Henry joint? Did we mention that Adrian Peterson is picked up by Tennessee?
No, we ain't talk about
Nah,
that.
I said AP in the beginning.
I mentioned they got hurt. I didn't even. I was gonna mention I was gonna mention the waiver pickups if you wanted to pick them, but I didn't mention them just yet.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
But see, man, let's just run down a couple of scores, man. Rams beat Houston 38-22 in that game. Cooper Kupp once again, man. And if you got Cooper Kupp right now, you playing with house money because he getting you production like he CMC at this point in time.
Right.
And Robert Woods though had a good game. We had a touchdown, rushing touchdown, and they might be putting them in the Cordell Patterson role with one rushing touchdown, one receiving touchdown. I got one for you, Van Jefferson. Is he something to think about?
Yeah, he's their deep threat. He's their
I thought what's name was a deep threat. What's my boy name?
He's trying to get traded. They about to release him.
For real?
Yeah, because the other guy's faster and younger.
Yeah, he asked to be traded.
I don't know why he asked to be traded, man. That's crazy.
Sugar one. He won. He still need a man. He got that
Look,
syndrome.
yeah, I'm about to say, man, you might as well ride this ship to try to get a Super Bowl.
You know what I mean?
You're not gonna go to anywhere that's gonna contend.
I think he's trying to go back to Tampa with Tom.
Oh, really?
Nah, I'm just joking out.
No. Oh man, Seattle beat up on Jacksonville, and y'all just act like y'all forgot that I mentioned the Jacksonville defense might be a sneaky play. Who knew Geno Smith was gonna show up?
Yeah, I picked Jacksonville defense too for listening to you.
Gene, once again, no accountability, man, in this whole group. No accountability at all.
So you think Jacksonville defense?
It was a good play. I thought
Seattle haven't done nothing. They had with Geno at the.
I didn't believe you, Geno.
I picked Seattle defense in the man. Yo, my
no, Seattle was a good pick too.
Yeah,
I thought Seattle was a good pickup too. I just figured from a rostering standpoint, I figured most people wouldn't pick Jacksonville.
But Dan Arnold was one of my sleepers.
The reason why though.
I know Terrence had Dan Arnold, the tight end.
Oh yeah.
I knew he was gonna go off.
Yo, the tight end from Minnesota got me a touchdown.
Who was that?
Conklin.
Conklin. Yeah.
All right, man.
You sound proud of that, man.
Yeah, look. Listen. After 18 points, you'll be proud about anything.
Hey, look, but it was an intentional 18, yo, and like I had a full roster.
All right, so look, we run through one more game, a couple more scores, and now we talk about the New England Chargers game. So Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 15-10. Najee Harris did his thing. Nobody to really talk about from Cleveland except for the fact that Dearness Johnson found the end zone. So there might be some chance there that he gets the goal line carries going forward. and Jarvis Landry still ate up all the targets for Cleveland. Ended up with 10 targets, 5 receptions. I don't even want to talk about this damn Denver Washington game. I never seen a worse display in my life between Blewett. He blows. I mean, he had 3 kicks blocked, something like that, and they wasn't even blocked. He was just kicking dudes in the back of the helmet on his field goal attempts. And then, even with Denver trying to get a game away, they had 2 consecutive fumbles on their last 2 offensive possessions or offensive plays, and Washington still couldn't do anything with it. But let's talk about the New England Chargers matchup. We talked about Justin Herbert and him going against Bill Belichick, and whether or not he's able to shake off, actually having 2 relatively subpar games, one extremely subpar when he got blanked by the Ravens. But the question I have for you is, Eckler, he did his thing, 64 yards rushing, 74 yards receiving. He had 1 rushing touchdown. But Keenan Allen found the end zone and had 77 yards and with 11 targets, compared to 6 targets by Mike Williams. Is that a thing? Can I trust Keenan Allen in my lineup going forward? We give the Gene to let Turner get the opportunity to
catch up.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen in your lineup going forward.
He's supposed to be a wide receiver 2, but he been putting up wide receiver 3 numbers for the most part.
I mean, Mike Williams
high in wide
last game. I don't think so. I think Keenan Allen I think he caught up in the numbers game, yo. Yeah, because you got Mike Williams, Eckler. What's the receiver that came on? Somebody came on yesterday, nobody do a lot, but more than what they did.
Palmer caught a touchdown. Guyton had only 2 targets, but
I mean, that's tough, man. Because I know he got at least 3 more big games coming this year, right? You know what I mean? You figure he going, huh?
Yeah. I said just don't know when.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, as soon as you bench him, he gonna get a 2 touchdowns.
He's like what's the name? Amari Cooper.
Right.
Basically.
Right. So trying to chase him is like, I think, you know what, honestly though, guys, I think everybody is like Amari Cooper, right? I think the days of I think that the only time that we really had guaranteed receivers besides Cooper Kupp this year, but he's having a historically great year, was when you had Antonio Brown and
Jamar Chase
getting all tight. Yeah, he having big games. Yeah,
I mean, you got receivers out there, Van Jefferson. I mean, not Van Jefferson. Justin Jefferson.
But there's no history of Jamar Chase though. Only these 5 or 6 games. You know what I mean? Like most receivers,
the history is in college.
Most receivers, but I guess what I'm saying is from a week-to-week standpoint, most receivers accumulate good receivers. The top ones accumulate 1,300 yards over the course of 16 games, and they normally do it with 130 here, 130 there, and 20 and 50 in the rest of the game. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, right? But that pretty much brings it back to the whole premise of the season long, right? Is that you can have a guy like a Cooper who finished his top 5 receiving, right? And you can benefit from all his points because his down games aren't hurting you like that. You know what I mean? It's not costing you week in and week out.
Right. And so when you play the system that we're playing, which is total points, Cooper and Keenan Allen, go back to the original question, you play Keenan Allen every week because at the end of the year, his total numbers are all that matter. You're not trying to catch lightning in a bottle to win one game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. So, try to time it up.
Right. So you play because when it's all said and done, he'll have 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, probably 78 receptions.
Right.
That's how I would go with it.
So, all right, man. So look, let's okay. Appreciate that, sir. To try to wrap up, before we do that, let's look into this Kansas City, New York game. Right now, it is 14-10, Kansas City. It's about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. My homeboy not doing it again, man. He had 161 yards. He's 19 for 34, 161 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. They started off hot, too. Where they got the turnover early. He threw a touchdown to Tyreek Hill. And right now, I don't even know who Derek Gore is. and he's leading the team in rushing with 47 yards, 1 TD. Darrell Williams has 33 yards rushing, 40 yards receiving, and of course Tyreek Hill, like I mentioned, he had that one touchdown catch and 65 yards on 9 receptions. But Pat Mahomes, once again, man, he's having a mediocre game at this point in time. Him and Daniel Jones are basically neck and neck with points. He has 10.6. Daniel Jones got 10.1. Both of them pretty much stinking the joint up. 1 TD, 1 interception. And Daniel Jones has given me 7 yards rushing so far. Nobody else has really done anything. Kadarius Toney has actually completed a pass, but only has 2 receptions for 9 yards at this point in time. So I waited all the way to Monday night when I had 2 guys on the bench that scored. One scored 20 and another scored 31 with Lockett for Toney to give me looking like 3 points so far. But all right, so with that note, the waiver wire. And we'll start with my man turn. I know he at least has his waiver name. At least got 2 or 3 of them for me. Who you eyeing up for the waiver pickup? Who you eyeing?
Man, so I gotta go off I'm gonna talk about our league specifically, because I need a quarterback. So I don't know.
Mike White.
I'm gonna go for. Mike White still out there? Yeah, he is still out there, but I don't think
he's not out there. Somebody
I put a bid in for him.
But I still Joe Flacco is still. They traded for him, so I don't know. But now I'm going for a New Orleans quarterback. I don't know which one yet. Trying to decide, but I need to do an emergency pickup here because I don't think Deshaun Watson getting traded tomorrow at the trade deadline.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that. Everybody keeps thinking he
they're talking about he might do some settlements.
So
you better pick up Tyrone Taylor. He about to come back.
Somebody already got him.
Oh. For real?
Yeah.
What about Fitzpatrick?
Richard got 2. Richard got Tom Brady and somebody else, another good quarterback, and he sitting on Tyrone Taylor.
Are you serious
about that? Well, yeah.
I need to text that dude. Stop playing.
He got Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady, and then he got Tyrod Taylor on his bench. It's like I feel attacked a little bit.
Yeah, for real.
So,
they're hating,
and then
that's how I feel. I'm hating.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's it for me. I mean, I still gotta keep looking. That's all I got for now.
All right, Jose. Give me 5, Jose.
Man,
5. I know you got 11
for our league.
Give me or just in general. Who you give me 5 good ones.
Well, definitely AP. You got to pick up AP out there. Jeff Wilson Jr. He's being active. You should stash him on your bench if you have the opportunity to. For our league, I'm looking at 2 guys that, especially if you have points for return yards, these 2 guys I'm looking at is DeAndre Carter and Jamal Agnew. Both receivers, kick returner specialists from one's DeAndre Carter is from Washington, and Jamal Agnew is from Jacksonville. The last couple of games, they've been getting a lot of targets and a lot of good returns, and they've been putting little points in there. They're almost like a Deontay Harris, but with more targets. Tight end. I can go with tight ends. Croft. I like Croft from Tyler Croft from Jets, and Elijah Moore if he's still available out there.
Can I ask you about AP though? Do you think that he gonna jump into the starting role?
Yeah, that offensive line is solid. All he has.
I'm saying they got McNichols and somebody named Evans.
Years old, AP.
Yeah, he's just gonna hit the hole. I mean, the way he runs almost like Derrick Henry, but not as fast. Yeah, not as fast. But it's the same type of hole. He does the same type of jump step.
Yeah, he 36 years old. AP though ain't played in a year or 2.
No, he played last year.
Did he win? Who did he play with last year?
Detroit.
I mean, but did he play though? Like,
Yeah, he played. He played.
I actually remember him giving me some fantasy points last year. I think.
Yeah, he
Give
definitely
somebody
played.
some fantasy points. But look, I got this. If he come out and he look anywhere near like
AP?
OAP, then I'm legit. I think he juicing. Like, there's no way.
Yo, I always want to know what his diet is, yo.
And then
Right.
Mike White, I
What I'm
definitely would
saying
pick up
is,
Mike
dude,
White.
McNichols is supposed to be ahead of him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but McNichols is more of a third down back. He's more catching. He's not. They need a power back. If they need a power back who's gonna, wear teams down, and that's what AP does. I mean, he's still got that power. And I just that offensive line is just solid to me. I mean,
All right, Dean, what you got? You got anybody that you looking at?
I've been paying attention to them so hard. I ain't even go do my own little homework on the side. No, not really. I like everybody that they just said. Yo, they took all my answers. I'm gonna pull
It ain't
a
a
turn.
lot out there this
You sound
week.
like
I mean,
you sound like Terrence.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of people out there this week. I mean, I'm looking now.
where
I mean,
in our league there is. There's a whole bunch, man.
Look,
don't
Terrence,
get
I don't even know why.
started,
Terrence, I don't even know why. I
started.
don't even know why you said
Listen,
that.
man.
Right,
Right.
37
Hold up,
days,
I'm about to pull it up right now. You got
and 3 of them gonna hit, and he gonna be like, "I told you."
listen.
That's how he's going
I
through
mean,
that
Scott,
last
like,
three.
Look, quarterback. You got Mike White, right?
Watch how deep you go on this one.
All right.
I only
we gonna
like
hit a
Mike White.
podcast on this.
Listen, I don't like Mike White. You got Landry out there. You can pick up Landry. You got Gage, Elijah Moore, Crowder, Devontae Parker.
it's always been wide receivers in our league, though.
Yeah, so
we got an abundance of wide receivers.
What you looking for?
Ain't a running back. A running back.
running
Not
back.
one of those.
A running
Singletary's out there. You got Singletary's out there. You got Ty
Yeah,
Johnson
that's
from the
crazy.
Jets.
I can't believe somebody cut Singletary.
You got Ty Johnson from the Jets. You got Giovanni Bernard. You
I got
have
weapons here. These guys really exist, man. Hold on.
no, you do.
Nah, I know. I'm just messing with
Gio hit him.
You got AP. You got
Gio. 2 catch for 7 yards. Gio.
You got Amir Abdullah.
Terrence had to say something. Jose 12 deep right now. Or just running back.
Who else you looking for? What else you looking for? Tight end.
Bye.
Tight end. You got Fairmouth out there. You got Dan Arnold out there.
We said he was pump faking. Didn't we say Fairmouth was pump faking before we started the podcast?
No, I believe in Fairmouth. I'm a believer. Baby Grunt.
Somebody got Ingram already? Did somebody pick Ingram up?
Running back?
Evan?
Yeah. As a handicap for Kamara. Nah, Mark Ingram.
Oh.
Yeah, I think somebody picked him up. But you got Nicholas out there, the backup running back from Tennessee Titans.
You just told me AP was gonna be the man.
Yeah, but he's a third down back though. He's still gonna get catches.
Yeah, but they also said it's a guy named Evans who just came back. He was supposed to be the backup. Okay.
I mean, he could be the backup. I'm telling you, AP.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else drop 200 on AP.
Yeah, but you got Singletary out there. You got Ty Johnson out there.
I got one of them. I ain't gonna tell y'all about him.
You got Sony Michelle. You got Sony Michelle out there.
Tell us for the podcast. You
Jose went 15 deep and didn't name him.
Oh no, I named some people that I put out there, but I got some sleepers that I haven't called out.
I got some for you. So you said Frymouth, you said Dan Arnold, right? Or did Terrence pick Dan Arnold? Nah.
No, he's available.
Yeah, so Dan Arnold, right? Frymouth. I like AJ Dillon as a handy as a cup to what's his name at Green Bay, and he still get production.
I knew you was gonna say him.
AJ Dillon.
You've been talking about him for the last couple,
and I need him back.
Last couple podcasts. I don't like him.
If you willing to roll the dice, and pick up, well, what's the name? Richard got Tyrod Taylor, but you may be able to run Davis Mills out there one more time before he take a back seat for a streamer. Who they have next? They got
that was horrible.
They have they got the Rams next, so I don't know about that. But after that, it would be Miami. So if Tyrod Taylor is out during the Miami game, that may be an opportunity. But look, man, that's it, man, for the week. And
Yep.
So on that note, man, we're gonna take us back out. In the pocket.
We're all one, DMV. We're all one.
They're not gonna let Gene back around Clay Turris keep saying that.
Nah.
We're all one. Or glass man for that matter. My hood card is gone, and all the hoods in the city after this podcast.
They're gonna call you by your government, Eugene.
Right.
That's blasphemous for you to say that.
All right, fellas.
Deuces. We still live. Rodney got the producer slipping. Music ain't play out. We ain't fade out or nothing. It's just been an era of comedies all day tonight. All night.
He put himself on mute.
Like, God, he cussing me out over the mute. Got the live joint still going on. Oh, yo, I guess we out. He talking. Do you know he muted? You muted.
I think it's messed up. I think his whole system messed up. All right.
Now, Super King.
We need to cut the director.
Right.
Where's the producer?
All right.
All right. Peace out.
Deuces,
Y'all be
deuces,
safe.
deuces.